Hello everyone and welcome. In this video we'll go through the final project that you have to do. So what you are supposed to do and what I'm expecting from you. Okay, so it is quite easy. I have this folder here where this one I'm recording from Windows. There's this folder here somewhere in my computer called Streamlit apps, and this folder here is the app that the final project, the version that I have built, and this is my virtual environment, the env folder. So I've already opened this app in a terminal. I'm using the Git bash terminal, so you can see that I'm at the Streamlit apps. And so what I can do is to change directory to that particular project, the folder, and call Streamlit, run, and then the name of the file, which is geoproject.py. When I run this, this should open up, but let's minimize this one for now. And then let me open up the PDF that will detail what we are supposed to do. So this is the PDF. You can see here that you are building a geospatial dashboard, and all that it will do is that it will help you to visualize world population data with some interactive features. So what I'm expecting from you is that your app should allow the user to be able to select a country of choice, and then when that country is selected, you generate a map using that country, and then you show some population visualization. So all the data is provided for you. I'll show you how to get it, and the links to all of them will be in the description. But this PDF also is accessible from the Google Classroom, and this is the Google Classroom. You can pause the video now to join by the class code, but the class code and the Classroom link will all be posted also. They will be in the description. So but you can pause the video now and join using this class code. That is the Google Classroom. You can see I've posted a final assignment with a final project where you submit your stuff. Okay, so join this classroom and then let's take it from there. Now back to our PDF. You can see that the country statistics and all. Don't worry, everything will be given to you. The data will be given to you. And ensure also that your app is well organized and your user interface is as clean and simple as possible. Now these are the data sources. If you open link in new tab, and the same as this one also, they will open the raw files for you, because that's how I made it, so that you don't really go through the hassle of converting it to raw GitHub files when you are making the request to get the data. Yesterday, during the introduction to Streamlit, I showed you how to get data from the internet, so you can refer to that video. It has a lot of tips that will help you make this program or this project without going through a lot of hassle. So, but this data, if you want to read about them, or they are all in the GitHub repository, the link is in the description. Go to the 13, I think, final project data or so folder. You find all these data sets in there with a details.txt file giving credit to where the data was taken from. Okay, so these are the submission guidelines. Your code should be well organized and commented where necessary. Just try your best to ensure that your dashboard meets all the requirements and functions as intended, and submit your final code also before the deadline. With a brief summary, I'll tell you what the brief summary is. Very, very brief. I'm not looking for anything lengthy from you. A paragraph or two, that is all, and you are good to go. And this should be deploy, not deploy. So deploy it to the Streamlit cloud, and then you submit a link to your deployed app and your GitHub repository that contains the code. And please take note, the submission deadline is 28th of November 2024 at 11:59 p.m. UTC. So please convert this to your time zone so that you don't miss the deadline. And if you need any additional resources, you can always check the Streamlit documentation, which is also docs.streamlit.io. Okay, so let me show you what I built. I'm not saying do exactly the same in terms of user interface, but all the functionality that I'm looking for here, I try to build something that encompasses all. Now, this is the app that I built. So you can see here that I just have a world population dashboard. Maybe your own, you can add your name somewhere that will give credit to you. And then here, if I have not selected any country, you see that the app intelligently says that please select a country to view its data. These ones are necessary, these types are necessary so that when no data is selected and your app is run at the first instance, it will not crash. Okay, let me come back to the terminal. The app is running. And so if I select Angola, I see that it tries to fetch the data. Okay, so Angola, and then I get this country statistics here. So if you remember, I said that I need some country statistics. They are here. These ones, the 0.4, and then also that I said I need population charts. That one is also here, the population visualization here. And then I also said that I need an interactive map, which is here. You can customize this map anyhow you want to customize it. Just that at least it will show the boundary of the country. And then I also said that I need a country selection, so a drop-down menu where a user can select the country. Yesterday I showed you how you can get information from a particular data frame and then pass it to a Streamlit widget. So if I choose, let me come down, maybe Australia, the statistics will change, and then now the map will move to Australia, as well as this ones also. So for this one, you see that this widget is called a multi-select, if you care to know. It will allow you to select more than one object. And so allow the user to choose which of the population to visualize. If you come to the, I think the link is github.com/Tommy's codebase. And then here I'm looking for, let me come to the repositories tab. I'm looking for this 12 days Geospatial Python. If you come to the final data here, you should see the world population.csv. And this is what it contains, the columns and all the data here. You see you have 2022 population, 2020, 2020, 2015, 10, 1990, 1970. And the other data is also here. So you are not creating anything from scratch. You are just accessing this data and using it. So all this population is made available. They are taken from the CSV here and then fed into the Streamlit app here. So the user can choose, okay, 1970, what was Australia's population, and it was 12.59 million, or 12.6. I can choose to add 1980. I can choose to add maybe 2000. And then you see that my chart is dynamically changing according to the things I add. Okay, so with this I can visualize it. I can take some from it, and then it responds accordingly. Okay, so you are building this interactive, and these are the basic functionality I expect from you. But if you go the extra mile to add something very, very nice and creative, which is not here, that can fetch you, it will actually fetch you some extra marks. I actually allocated 24 marks for creativity and general beauty of the design. So take your time, make sure that the user interface is really simple and nice, and the user experience is also very nice. So you should let the user know what they are doing. Like my own, you can see that it says here that select a country. It's all part of the user experience that tells the user what to do, because it comes fresh like this, and I see the box here and I don't see anything here. What will I do with this box? But if you see select a country here, it's a good user experience. All these things are good user experiences. I'll be checking out all of them. But if you're able to add other functionalities also, that apart from these basic ones, because you need these basic ones to be done. If you do all these things that I'm requiring of you and you still add extra stuff, fine, that one will also fetch you some marks. Okay. So now that we are done, how do we get to deploy it? This is the project open in VS Code. And so this is the folder. This is my geoprojects.py. I will not open it because it contains my code and I don't want you to see it. And then what I want to show you is that, forget this env. What I want to show you is that whichever folder that you will be using to host your app should have a requirements.txt. But let me come to the README first. The README, if you look at the PDF, it says, give a brief description. Where is that one? The brief project summary. So that is it. That is the brief project summary. So that anybody who goes to GitHub to see your code, at least will have something to read about it. So this is what I put there. I'm not saying that type exactly the same thing, but you can make it more detailed. So this is my description, just to show you that it's something very simple. So one paragraph or two, and that is all. And this is the requirements.txt. This file name, please ensure that it's exactly the same as you have seen it here. Let me increase the font. It's exactly the same, requirements with s.txt. Okay. And what that one should contain is all the packages that you used in building your app. I didn't explicitly include Streamlit because I'm using Streamlit Folium, which is a dependency of Streamlit. So Streamlit will be installed. But apart from Streamlit, these are all the packages I used. Make sure you have them so that when Streamlit is building your app on the cloud, it will be able to install all of these. We will get to that place and see when it is installing stuff. It needs this file called requirements.txt to be located at the place where the Python file that will be deployed is. Okay, so enough of that one. I will not open my file, even by mistake. I will not do that. And so after that is done, you have built your app, you have ensured the folder structure, you have your README and the compulsory. Okay, the README, let me make it also compulsory because you have to provide a description. And the requirements.txt, forget my env, that is my virtual environment. You can use your Anaconda environment and install the Streamlit there. Yesterday we saw how to install it. But if you want an environment, a virtual environment, you can create one if you know how to do that. But you don't need a virtual environment to run it. You can even install it in your regular Python and all that. So when you are done, what I want you to do is to come to your favorite search engine, just search for GitHub, or maybe you make it direct, github.com. I think it's not so long to type. And then for you, maybe you will not have an account. So let me log out. Let's sign out and then let's take it. Okay, sign out from this. So probably you get an interface that looks like this. And because you are new, and if you don't have some, sorry, you are not new, maybe you have a GitHub account already. If you don't have some, just go to sign up. And then enter your email address. They will give you some. It's not difficult, and it's not a difficult process. So just make sure that you sign up. And for me, I already have an account, so I'll sign in. When you sign in, it takes you to your home like this. Yours may not look exactly like this, but what you want to do is to, and once you even have it like this, it's okay. Just create a GitHub account and then sign in. Okay. And then when that one is done, I want you to also look out for a package, a software called GitHub Desktop. Search for GitHub Desktop like this, download, go to the place, and then download it and install it. If you are downloading and installing it, it might ask you to, maybe it will ask you to install Git. If it asks you to install Git, then search for Git, so Git download, and then you can go to that downloads page also and download Git for your platform. If you are stuck in the installation, there is help on the internet. You can also seek help from the page, or if you think you have to message me directly also. But most of these ones, you just go to Google, how to install Git on maybe Mac OS, how to install Git on Linux, how to install Git on Windows, or you can go to YouTube, that one too. Like, there is information available on the internet. Just search for it and you know how to install it. That is if and only if the installation of this GitHub desktop requires that you install Git. Other than that, you can download. For Windows people, double click and install. And if you are on Linux, you can search for it on your App Store. Mac OS, I think when you visit the site, maybe this one doesn't have a Mac OS version. I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, now there's download for Mac OS. Sorry, it's down here because I'm on Windows. Probably it brought it up here for me. So Mac OS, you click on that link and then it will. I think this is downloading the zip file, and then you go through the installation process. Okay, as I said, if you are stuck, you can find help on the internet, on the platform, and then you find the help. And so once all of this is done and you have installed it, when you open it, when you open the GitHub desktop, it will not really look like this. Mine already have it, and I've done some stuff. That is why it is like this. But don't worry that yours is not like this. Just have that one to installed and your GitHub account created. And when that one is done, what you do is to go to File at the top here, come to Options, and then choose Sign in to github.com, and then continue with Browser. This is not the browser I use for this purpose, so I'll take it off here, bring it to where I have my GitHub account, and then paste it, and then press Enter. And then you see that it's select a user to authorize desktop. Because this is my GitHub account, I'll accept it. And then when I go back, it will take me back to this GitHub desktop. And then now, whatever I do is in the name of this user. I don't really need to do what I'm about to do now. Because I have more than one, so anytime I switch, I have to do some changes. Yes, so that is it. But you don't have to do that one, the one that I did down here, because I'm using 2 GitHub accounts on this computer. Okay, so now that one is done. Let's come back, and then what you want to do, close this one. What you want to do is this folder here that has the project. I'll come back by one, and then this folder here that has the project, I have this folder called Streamlit Apps, and inside that Streamlit Apps is where I have my Geospatial Python Bootcamp project. That is because later on I want to be adding other Streamlit projects, and I want to keep them all organized in the Streamlit Apps folder. You don't need to do that. You can create just this folder, something like this, and then you drag that one and create a repository with it. But my own, the full repository will be this one, so I will drag this here and then drop it. It tells me here that this directory does not appear to be a Git repository. Would you like to create a repository instead? So yes, of course I want to, so I'll click on create a repository. And this is called Streamlit Apps. You can give a description. Maybe say the official repository for my Streamlit apps. You don't have to type exactly like I'm typing. This is usually how I give my descriptions, because this GitHub account is for my YouTube channel. And it states here that initialize this repository with the README. Yes, of course I want to. And then also a git ignore. And the git ignore is just a special file that contains specific instructions that tell Git which of the files not to push to GitHub. Because you know that if you are pushing your code to the internet, you will really expose things. And so if you are working with things like some secret keys, you don't want to add them in your code. You keep them in what you call an environment file. And then when you have hosted your app or service, the host service, they will have a place for you to type your secret keys. Streamlit has one. We will get there very soon. And for the license, I will just choose none for now, and then I'll click on create repository. Now this repository has been created. Now I see here that there's a publish repository here. If I come to my GitHub, go to this, my avatar, go to repositories, I will not see this Streamlit apps here. If I search for stream, you see that I didn't see anything because it has not been uploaded to GitHub yet. So what I can do is that I will click on publish repository here. And before I do that, let me go back to VS Code and then make sure that this git ignore should contain env, because I don't want to push my env file, my env folder. So let me just, okay, so env, the folder is there, so that means it will not push my folder to GitHub. So that is what I wanted to check. Okay, so then I can click on publish repository, and please, this step is very important. Make sure you uncheck keep this code private, make it public, because I want to have access to it and review your code. Later on, if you are creating others, you can make your repository private so that others will not have access to it, you alone. Even this repository itself, once I publish it, I can change the visibility status also. But for now that I have not reviewed your code, uncheck this and click on publish repository. So it has been published. It says that we can view it on GitHub, but we already have it open, so we will come here. Maybe I have to just refresh so that I'm sure that now you see that there are Streamlit apps and it was updated now and it is public. Okay, so this is my README, and then inside here is the project I am now deploying, and so this is the description that shows. So when somebody opens it, immediately they see that it's a Geospatial World Population Dashboard, and this is your description. Okay, so now that we have all this set up, what we want to do is to go to Streamlit to deploy it. So I'll go to share.streamlit.io. The links to all of them will be in the description. On this page, you want to click on continue to sign in. If you don't have an account, you have to fill some form. It is not a tedious process. Just fill out the form, follow the instructions, you'll be able to create your account. But please, when you are creating the account, like in your case, when you are signing up, please sign up with GitHub so that it will be easy to link your stuff from GitHub to Streamlit. Please sign up with GitHub. Okay, so I'll come back to my sign in page and I'll continue with GitHub because I signed up with GitHub. So I'll sign in with GitHub. Now it says here that I don't have any apps in this workspace. So what I'll do is to create app, and then we have one. So we will choose this option that says deploy a public app from GitHub. Once I click this, I will come to this page. So it's asking for the repository. So once I click in there, I can search for the stream. Okay, it's not really showing the Streamlit apps. It should be, maybe it's down there. Okay, it's here. So I select the repository that contains the app, and the branch is main. I didn't explain that one because we are not really doing it, but if you come to the top left here, you should see main here. This is what we call a branch. We shouldn't get into details about that one. We are not doing it here. And then you see that it is asking for the main file path. It's even intelligently found it. But if it didn't find it, we would have typed this folder name and then the name of the file itself. And then here is our app URL. This is what it wants to give to us, and honestly, this is not something that we want to keep. So I'll give a URL like my maybe World Geospatial Dashboard, and then so that will be, the link will be World Geospatial Dashboard.streamlit.app. It says here that domain is available, and this should be very, very unique. If this domain is taken and you also want to take it, it will not work, so you may have to add something else to it to make it unique. And then before you click on deploy, come to advanced settings. Here you can choose the Python version that you want to use. Okay, so I think I was using 3.9, so I'll set it to 3.9. And if you have any secret keys, this is where you also put them. So I can click on save, and then once this is done, then what I'll do is to click on deploy. It will go ahead and go through the process of installing my packages and deploying my app for me. Now, see what I showed you. When you go to manage app, you see what is happening here in the Streamlit cloud. You see that it is spinning up. Okay. It is spinning up. It first spin up the app, and then you see that it's installed. It first cloned my repository. That means created a copy, like a clone of it, and then installed it using my environment.txt, my requirements.txt. So please make sure that it's there. So it's installed all the packages, and then afterwards, I think it says here, so Python dependencies were installed from, and then this is the link. But you have to know that this is not our link. This one belongs to, the first part belongs to Streamlit. But you see that it used my requirement.txt. So make sure you have that file. And then if you have any errors, it will show you here. Other than that, everything is all right. So this is my app that has been published for me. I think I'm using a dark mode. That is why the theme has changed. But if I select any of the things, you see that my app is working as expected. So you can go to share, and that is the app is already public. Make sure, if it is not public, make it public. You can copy the link, and this is the link that you submit to your Google Classroom so that I can click on it and see your work like this. And also you will share the link to this your GitHub repository with me. So you click on the address bar here. Also you copy this one. There is an option for you to paste it in. You paste it in, then I have access to it. So friends, that is it about this project, how to get it, keep it together, how to host it, and all that. So I hope you find it maybe challenging but educative. You learn a lot from it, and I really would like to see you taking it a step further from this place and building amazing apps using your own data, whether geospatial data or other data also. So unfortunately, maybe you would like to keep this as a reference. So what I will do is I will delete the old repository. I will host this app with a different repository. I will host it somewhere else that you will not know, so that you cannot access the code. And then I will share the link with you. Maybe I will add it as part of the, or maybe I'll keep it in the video description. I'll keep it there, so that if you want to use this one as a reference, you can always visit it and then see how the things are going. But for this repository, I promise you that when I finish this recording, I'm deleting it straight away. But this app, I'll make sure that it is still existing. I'll send you the link, then maybe on WhatsApp in the description, so that if you want to look at it to see how you can also structure yours, you can do that. So thank you very much, and then until next time, it is goodbye. But make sure if you have any questions, you drop them in the description or on the platform, and then you'll be addressed. So until next time, it is goodbye.